It's the all-new Brady Bunch with guest stars Lee Majors, Farrah Fawcett Majors, Captain Cool and the Kongs, Ann B. Davis, and Rip Taylor. From the producers of Donnie and Marie, it's the Brady Bunch Hour. Sunday at 7 on ABC.
Hello, America. This is Daffy Duck. I may be daffy, but I'm not crazy. I'm smart enough to know that hard drugs like heroin and downers are a bummer. Don't fool with them. Take it from yours truly, dangerous drugs are despicable. See ya.
You were a headline guy.
I'm still a headline guy. You know what I mean?
For a while you popped out, now you're coming back. For a while you were actually you were running a gym. Tell us about that.
Running a gym?
Weren't you running a gym at some point?
You're supposed to be a news guy. Where you getting your fucking information?
That's our research. You weren't.
This is ridiculous. I come on CNN and the guy don't even know what he's talking about. Go ahead.
You at no point were you running a gym?
No, running a gym. What,
No,
you need a workout or something? Jesus fucking Christ, with these guys. I come on the news for 2 seconds, and you want to say, every time I do an interview, a guy wants to open his fucking mouth. Can't even do a little fucking routine here.
We thought that you could hold back.
Go fuck yourself, you know what?
All right.
Fuck the whole fucking network.
We'll go back to talking about Art Carney.
Asshole guy.
And we'll be back in just a moment to fill you in on the Art Carney situation.
The odds of you being killed by a terrorist are practically zero. So I say relax and enjoy the show. You have to be a realist. You have to be realistic about terrorism. Certain groups of people, Muslim fundamentalists, Christian fundamentalists, Jewish fundamentalists, and just plain guys from Montana are going to continue to make life in this country very interesting for a long, long time. That's the reality. Angry men in combat fatigues talking to God on a two-way radio and muttering incoherent slogans about freedom are eventually going to provide us with a great deal of entertainment.
This is Afghanistan. Alexander the Great tried to conquer this country. Then Genghis Khan, then the British. Now Russia. But Afghan people fight hard. They never be defeated. Ancient enemy, make prayer about these people. You wish to hear?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. It says, may God deliver us from the venom of the cobra, teeth of the tiger, and the vengeance of the Afghan. You understand what this means?
That you guys don't take any shit?
It's exhausting.
Dealing with people?
To continue to hear about these people who are making really bad choices. And people are dying from breakthrough infections, not very often, but they are. And you think, how hard is it? If you don't want to get the shot, stay home. But no, you don't want to do that either. You want to go frolic about, I'm free, my body, my choice. Uh-huh.
I love the audacity of them using that phrase with no amount of self-realization.
Oh, no. No, not a lick.
Never heard it before.
No, there is no concept whatsoever of what they're saying.
I was kind of just, having fun on a friend's Facebook wall, and some nut did that. My body, my choice. It was just about vaccination,
Yeah.
Vaccination or masks. One of the two. Oh, my body, my choice. Well, I know what he's going to say, but it's just poking the bear might just be amusing to me for a second. So I'll take the chance. I'm knowing exactly what he's going to say. And I say, oh, so obviously that extends to women's reproductive health rights. Good for you. I'm with you there, buddy. Of course I know what he's going to say. Of course I know. I'm not stupid. Yeah. It's different. Killing babies, blah, blah, blah. Yep. Okay. There you go, pal.
So when you get somebody else's child sick and they die, you're just taking the longer way around the curve?
My finishing salvo was, I would have also accepted, quote, I'm an ignoramus, end quote. So I found out you cannot call a person an idiot, even if they are an idiot. And in fact, many of them are idiots on Facebook because you get suspended.
That's one of the bad words now, isn't it?
Yeah, idiot. Ignoramus so far is fine. So far, the deep state, that's Facebook, hasn't gotten to that word yet. We can still proudly call people ignoramuses.
Well, very good.
Yeah. I don't know about Cretin. I don't know if Cretin is still allowed. Probably. I don't think anybody's raised too much of a hell over that one. I have been corrected in the past, though, because Cretin is a medical term, I guess, and it was used at one time to denote, I guess, a mentally person with a form of mental retardation.
What?
The people that we don't call retards. Yeah, no, Cretin. I looked it up and it's true. It's just that the word's been out of that use for so long. It seems like nobody says it that way. Nobody even implies the meaning. And plus, I won't say it if there's a Cretin in the room. I promise. You know, I'll keep it among us people who aren't really Cretins, who might get offended by being
referred to as Cretin.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, somebody.
Well, that's interesting.
But the idiot
there
is
we
also
go, everybody,
a word.
everyone.
Yeah.
Learning moment.
Right. For us, it's a teaching moment. For you, it's a learning moment. But, same thing. But idiot is also, that's a word that's used to describe all the feelings that anyway,
feelings.
How many times? Okay.
Nothing more than.
I was thinking, I got sidetracked by the David Cassidy version of that song, too, not by the association, by the David Cassidy cover of Cherish, not the original version by the association. Thank you. That's the one I had in my head. I got sidetracked.
I always liked that song.
I did, too. And, I think in retrospect, I was super into David Cassidy. But I think I was embarrassed by how much I was into David Cassidy, so I pretended to be more into the Partridge Family as a whole, right?
Ah,
yeah, right. I'm coming out right now about this. Yeah, I wasn't in love with him or anything, but I mean.
Now remember the song from "I'm Coming Out."
He was a good-looking fella. I mean.
Well, yeah, he was.
I Think I Love You, circa David Cassidy.
What am I so afraid of? I'm afraid that I'm not sure.
Feathered hair and just the cuteness that doesn't end. I mean, come on.
It didn't either.
Well, it eventually did.
Well,
ended tragically, but.
Do you remember he was on Celebrity Apprentice?
Was he?
He was, and some meanie pants just kept calling him Little David. Who was it? I mean, yeah. He's like, I'm not little. Little David. Yeah, whoever it was just being a total jerk.
Was he short in stature? I mean, is that
I think he was 5'9".
That's not short in my book.
No, it was just to try and get his ire.
Okay.
Just to hurt his feelings. I wish I could think of what it was. I wasn't a big watcher of the show, and I think I caught that part on one of those, kind of like, it wasn't the Soup, but it was a Soup type show.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
At the time. That was
from the
movie
show.
Yeah. I think I had other things to do than watch You Know Whose show.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, there's a few people that I'm interested in watching who were on that show, but I can't watch that show because of that reason. I mean, even long before the guy was elected president, for want of a better term.
Yeah.
I detested him, and I couldn't even, literally, the sight of him or the sound of his voice made me ill.
I found him repulsive.
I had a visceral reaction to him and also to Rosie O'Donnell, but probably different reasons. But maybe it mattered. Maybe their voices are on the same. I don't know. Something like a whistle that only a dog can hear. When he would speak, or when I saw him, it would in my stomach. I would feel it in my stomach. Yeah. So I could have told you, people. I could have. I tried to tell you.
Bill Rancic, who won the first one, and I think I had talked about this one not too long ago when he was on The View or one of those shows, and they had him on and talking about finances, and how to manage your money properly. And he got on there, and his thing was, are you ready for this, America? Live off 50% of your money, save 40%, and tithe 10%. Donate 10. I thought, you are so out of touch with the average American. How many people do you know? And I do know some that could do that, but the vast majority of the people you know, could they live off 50% of what they bring home, save 40 and tithe 10? Or are most of the people living off 80 to 90 and praying check to check?
Yeah. I mean, the numbers, I don't know, I'm sure it's more than 80% of people who live paycheck to paycheck.
And
there's no cushion. That sounds like this. Sounds like Jeff Bezos giving advice. You just start up a business. Well, first you get $1 million loan from your dad. Then you start up a business, and here's how you do it.
I just got a little loan from my dad. A little $1 million loan.
Plus knowing that you could still hit him up for more.
If I would have remembered what that was, I was absolutely aghast. And it was one of those, if there had been somehow a phone number had popped up on the screen, that it said, if you have any questions, call us at this number. I probably would have called immediately and said, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm still waiting for the punchline here, gang, because you folks have no idea what's actually going on in America and probably a lot of other places. If this is what you really think is going on, and you got this guy up here giving the American population advice, get somebody who's actually been in a struggle a bit. Get somebody who's maybe been homeless or on the cusp, right there.
Ooh, who wants to talk to those people?
Yeah, and this is what you do if it takes. God bless George W. That time, and he was in Omaha, and this woman stood up and said, I have 2 jobs. I have 2 jobs. And you get what she's saying, right? I have to have 2 jobs just to get by.
Yeah. No one's bragging about having 2 jobs. It's like, wow, 2 people hired me.
Yeah. No,
that's not a brag. No.
Oh, God bless you. Only in America. Yeah, he took it as, we have so, and people were just on pause because it was like, what? Then he said, only in America.
He didn't really get it.
No, he didn't at all. God bless him. Exactly. Yeah. We have so many jobs that, golly gosh darn it, you lucky folks, y'all can have 2. Oh.
There's this photo making the rounds of I don't know if it was posted to Facebook or Instagram or whatever, but a school superintendent, the names are redacted, but the school superintendent is taking this photo. She's at a drive-through window, some fast food place, right? You see her in the foreground, and then behind her you see the window, and you see a young woman sticking out of the window with the bag of food in her hand, right? She's about to give the food to the person taking the photo. And she captions it that she's a school superintendent, and this is one of her alumni. She names her, of course, which is redacted, and it's so great. She's got her own apartment, and she has 3 jobs. It's so great to see alumni doing so well. And she posted this like completely unironically. And if you see the photo, which I'll try to find it, I'll link it. The poor girl who's sticking her face out the window. I mean, obviously she doesn't want 3 jobs, but she doesn't want this moment to be happening. Okay?
No.
At all. And, she's
she was tickled 16 Shades of Pink that got posted.
Oh, yeah. At least her name was redacted. And hopefully we don't even know what city it is, but oh dear. Talk about no clue.
Probably Bill's cousin. And she has. So see, she can save.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, 3 jobs. Wow.
Yeah. She's so lucky.
Well, those Jamaicans really haven't made, man. Some of them have 5 jobs.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, leave some for the rest of us, right?
Only in America. I know that there are times when I've had multiple jobs. And I've had friends who have had multiple jobs to either try and save money, to pay to get out of debt. One of my friends got crunched in a motorcycle accident, and the person who hit them got away. And so my friend had to pay all of his own medical bills, and he got messed up. And it's kind of like, so he's trying to heal, and he's having to work 2 full-time jobs just to pay medical bills. Only in America. That's going to be my line, I think, for a little while.
Yeah. Oh, I saw some, like, a 12-year-old Olympic winner, maybe from Taiwan? I don't remember. Oh, God, it's so tragic. It's like he wanted to win the gold medal because his mom is dying his mom is very sick from something, and he went, it's just, But it's pitched as it's like a feel-good story. It's like, no, it's not good.
How?
It's not good at all. She can't afford the medical treatment.
So if he wins the gold medal, hopefully he... Oh, yeah, that's feel
guess,
good.
Yeah.
That's all kind of warm fuzzies.
Sell the medal. Oh, I remember there was some story, like a teacher, a beloved high school science teacher, whatever, was stricken with cancer and didn't have his health insurance ran out. So the other teachers, what it was is his sick time had run out.
Yeah.
So the other teachers pooled theirs and gave it to him. And then this beautiful story instead of this fucking horrific dystopian madness.
Yeah.
No, that's not good. That's not a good thing. It's horrible that people. It's wonderful that people did this. It's horrible that people had to do this.
I've known folks that happened to here. Yeah, they're having to give up their sick days, and then you just kind of hope and pray that you don't get sick because you've just given up 85% of your sick days, and there's no thing that comes back and says, you know what, you were so kind to help out this other teacher. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you some extra days. No, that's not going to happen either. Oh, and you did hear, now this should probably not come as a surprise, that we are sending troops back to Afghanistan.
Oh, good. Did they forget something? Did
they forgot
that. On or something?
You feel bad, but if people didn't see this coming, people weren't paying attention. The Taliban is taking over all over. Shuck-a-doodle-doodle all the day, and so, yeah, everybody's back in harm's way.
How many troops are we sending over? I don't mean you and I. I mean
2,000.
They. How many?
2,000, 2,000 something. They'll show the number again. I just glanced up.
Can we just send the bad ones? Because I'm sure it wouldn't be too hard to find 3,000 really shitty people in the military, right? Couldn't be too hard. Can we just send those? Then I won't feel bad.
If wishes.
Or trees?
I mean, everybody had to know this was coming. Was going to happen. But somebody committed us to leaving, and so somebody else had to stick to that. But if you remember a long time ago when Obama, all these people were like, you got to pull the troops out, you got to pull the troops out. Okay, I'll pull some troops out. When? When are you going to pull them out? So he said when, which just opened up the door to say, okay, everybody, if he's pulling them out on the 5th, on the 6th, we're just going to go full board and attack. So then people got mad that he gave a date. Said, well, that's what you were asking for. Do you remember? Do you remember that? No. Well, you did. I sat here and listened to you. So now, pulling everybody out of Afghanistan, which, I mean, how long can we stay there? Kind of situation. But it's the same thing all over again. Deja, I don't want that VU. What do we do? What do we do, Lee?
I don't know. Are they pretending? Are they admitting they're sending troops over? Or are they pretending that it's something else?
I just, thousands of U.S. troops returning to Afghanistan.
Maybe they're sending the vaccines.
Nope.
Nope.
Try and push back on the top.
Well, I can't say I'm a fan of the Taliban, but I think it's a little more complicated than I understand.
There are General McCaffrey, there are a few who I will listen to, who are battle tried. They know what's happened. They just know the right and the wrong. I'll listen to those people on their points of view and what they think is a good idea. I don't know. I know that I wouldn't want that responsibility. And I don't know as I would know the right thing to do. because it is that we can't stay there forever kind of idea. But you knew as soon as we left what was going to happen, because they just simply weren't trained well enough, be it because they were just counting on U.S. soldiers being there forever and a day. I know somebody who had been over there to train Iraqi soldiers, but bad guys would infiltrate and sneak in, and so these guys ended up with their numbers tattooed, kind of on their hindies, inside their lip, just all over in case. And I actually saw one of the tattoos. I know this to be a fact.
Okay.
In case they got blown to bits, hopefully there would be a piece of them that they could find to identify.
Right.
And because this particular person who I was talking to, their job was training, so as I said, and had actually witnessed standing there. 2 of his buddies. It happened right then and there. Boom. The bad guys snuck in and did what they were supposed to do. So I don't know. I mean, seriously, God bless the people who have the courage to go in. I don't know. I would not ever want to be the person in charge of trying to figure out the value of people's lives. Well, that's a happy turn, isn't it now?
I think they've already determined, haven't they? Haven't they already figured out? I'm sure they've crunched the numbers enough. They're not worth that much. At least there's an accepted number of casualties before it looks like a problem, I guess.
I just know I would not be any good at that.
No, me too.
So God bless y'all who have shown up. Whew. That kind of it's been a lot more fun, and then somebody married.
Yeah, we just hit a wall, didn't we?
Went through some darkness.
Yeah.
Hello, darkness.
Good thing I don't have any rope.
Oh, I do, but it's clear over there, and I'd have to actually get up.
Okay, good.
It's
good.
Actually, it's out in the garage, and the garage is dark.
Oh, ooh, no, that's... No.
Well, let's be honest.
Please don't, Mary. You have way too much to live for.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't.
You haven't even heard this episode yet.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. No, the rest of the jokes are going to be that I'm sure Macy's out there this time of year. Although they prefer winter when it's cold to hang out in the garages.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. And I know there are some Macy's in our garage, and you know how I know?
How?
Macy's feces. I was going to...
I hate Macy's feces to pieces.
Yes. I was going to flip the underground sprinklers one time to change how they were set up. And I went out there and I was like, oh, huh. I'd already got back into the corner where the control panel is. Mm-hmm. So I was already down there. And I looked down and I was like, crap. I mean, literally crap, people.
Yes, you're right.
Now what do I do? Switch the thing? Oh. Yes, Macy's feces in my garage. I never went and switched the thing again. Anytime it needs to be changed, I'm like, I don't know how to do it. So I lie. I just lie.
It's not really lying. It's deceiving.
Okay.
Through a mistruth.
I can work with that.
Yeah. You might want to go with lie. It's easier to remember.
This show ought to be interesting to edit. It has absolutely no direction.
Well, they're all that way to some degree. What I do is I cut them into segments and then figure out the flow.
Flow.
When we change topics, I chop those into blocks.
She was a character on Mel's Diner.
I got to say, I met Holly Holiday a couple times, and she's one of the sweetest people I've ever met. Holly Holiday was Flo.
Yeah.
In Alice, yeah. And she was also in Gremlins. Gremlins, the movie, perennial Christmas classic. Yeah. Really nice lady.
So like Die Hard, it's a Christmas movie?
It is a Christmas movie because it takes place at Christmas. And...
So Die Hard is as well, since it's a Christmas party.
Right. I would say...
Just double checking.
No, we did have this discussion once before, but I know my position is that Die Hard, there's no question that Die Hard is a Christmas movie because it isn't just that it takes place on Christmas, but the events of the night the events are set in place because it's Christmas. The reason they chose that night to do their little terrorist takeover is because everybody would be gone because it was Christmas Eve. And they're at the reason he's there is because he's at a Christmas party. So if it were not Christmas, none of this would have happened. So there you go.
That's right.
But
always think twice, people, before you go to a Christmas party.
Or a Christmas
Not
movie.
always.
For that
Not
matter.
always it's cracked up to be.
You know, for a brief period, Flo, Polly Holiday was like Fonzie. I mean, she was big, right? I mean, she had a catchphrase, "Kiss my grits," and yeah, she was huge.
That thing.
But, yeah. Actually, my kids were. She happened to come by the movie theater I was working in. My kids were there with me, coincidentally, and even more coincidentally, we had just watched Gremlins, maybe the night before or 2 nights before, and I want to say my daughter was probably about 7, 8. And so Polly Holiday walks in. She's going to come see a movie. And Casey happens to walk up the stairs. And so I introduce her to Casey. And Casey was wonderful. She had no, she wasn't starstruck or anything. But I said, do you remember we watched Gremlins last night? And this is Polly Holiday. She was in the movie. And she said, when you in that first scene that you were in, the thing that you were carrying, was that a giant pumpkin? And she went, oh no, it was a snowman's head that was broken. I don't know if you remember that scene in the movie, but she marches into the bank with this broken snowman's head that Billy's dog has. She's blaming Billy's dog. She's sort of the Wicked Witch of the West in Gremlins. It was a very sweet conversation because she just completely just started talking to her, and they were just having a conversation about seeded Gremlins. And I was like, yeah, that's my kid.
That's mine.
Yep.
That's mine. My industry, baby.
And then even more coincidentally, now I'm thinking that it's all, maybe there aren't coincidences now I'm thinking, but even more coincidentally, Polly Holiday came back. I saw her again the second time, I don't know, a week or 2 later, and coincidentally, I had just spoken to Zach Galligan, star of Gremlins, the night before because I interviewed him on my radio show. So I was actually able to say, oh, hi, I just talked to Zach last night. Oh, how's Zach? Oh, he's great. Nice.
All this in my world.
Yeah, it was just a funny, weird little coincidence. But I will say, having Zach Galligan on, he was wonderful, by the way. I'll link that show in the program notes if anybody wants to listen to it. He was a great guest. And my first question to him was going to be, and I totally chickened out on this, I didn't ask because I don't think it would have been appropriate. It's if we knew each other a little bit, like by the end of our show, I think we were getting along enough that I could have asked it. But this was supposed to be my icebreaker, which was, how bad does it piss you off when you Google your name only to find Zach Galifianakis? Right. And it's a fairly decent, if that was my name, I'd be like, yeah, that's funny. But no, it wouldn't have been professional. I think he might have hung up.
Yeah. Maybe on the second interview.
Yeah, he was a really great guy. I recommend him, by the way, wherever movie stars are sold.
See, all this talking about movies, I just want movie theater popcorn with lots of butter.
Oh.
And a little bit of salt.
I don't know if where you're from they have butter, but most places don't. They have that gooey, hydrogenated, oily stuff, butter flavored.
You push the button and the stuff squirts out.
It's as far from butter as you could be. It's as far from butter as a penguin is from butter.
And I enjoy it. It's like the nacho.
I'm not knocking it.
It's like the nacho cheese that you get when you go to an athletic event.
Right, it's spelled CHEEZ because they can't legally call it cheese, right?
And the stuff to me is fantastic.
Sure.
There's a store where I shop. I'll say Costco.
Okay.
And they have the gallon jug or the gallon can.
Mm-hmm.
I am so tempted so many times. I have a friend that said she'll split it with me. I could probably eat half a gallon of that stuff. I'd be sick, and not in one sitting, mind you. It might take 2 or 3.
You know what I like is the
Throw
salts,
some
like
chips
the
and some
flavored salts.
jalapenos. Well, yes, we have a
Right,
bunch.
like the Parmesan. Some theaters, I don't know of one offhand, but some theaters have those, like sour cream flavored or whatever.
Sour cream and chive, ranch, of course, and
Yeah.
butter,
Oh yeah.
and
Right.
caramel,
Sure.
kettle corn.
Okay.
We have most of those in our house. Now you can buy those there, and they're I don't know if you would consider it reasonably priced, but we have all of them in our house, so I just slap one in my handbag and sprinkle while we're there.
So they don't check your bags. You don't have to go through a scanner.
Not at
Spray. No.
No, they don't have clear bag policy at the theaters yet.
You know, one of my very first jobs back in the Nebraska chapter of my life, when I was a teenager, I worked at the local movie theater, the AMC Conestoga 4 theater, which I understand is still a theater. It's not an AMC anymore, but I think anyway. So I'm working there. I'm probably 17, 18. He was 18. And the edict came down from the home office in Kansas City, Missouri, that employees were forbidden to use the word butter because there had been a lawsuit. A woman, I guess, had ordered popcorn, and the employee said, "Do you want butter on that?" And she said yes, and they put the oil on it, and she sued them and won, or they settled out of court, probably. So
No,
the edict.
that's the thing. You go to a movie theater, at what point do you think they've got on a little burner a little pan of butter that they're just melting, and they mix it up and drizzle it over your popcorn?
There are some high-end theaters that do that, so it isn't completely unheard of. But I think people are probably conditioned to. Here's the deal, though: employees can't say, "Would you like butter?" But if the customer says, "Could I have butter on that?" you don't have to correct them because they've made the assertion. So you can just say, "Oh yeah, no problem," and squirt this up. You can't say, "Do you want butter on that?"
Well, we're rebels here because they still
You're
ask.
offering them something specific. They're just asking for lawsuits. That's all I'm saying. There's precedent for this, and hey, maybe you could cash in on this. Do it. Take one for the team. Go in there and say.
No. Tell you what, you get a job at a theater, you can go to all the free movies, and you get to bring somebody with you. My son and I used to go to movies all the time, and we used to talk between the two of us, which one of us should get the job at the theater, so that we could always bring the other one to a movie. Mm-hmm.
Well, what I tell people who say, working in a movie theater must be so much fun. My line is, well, not unlike Disneyland or the Bunny Ranch. It's a lot more fun to visit than to work there. Actually, that was my line about the Museum of Natural History where I worked for a while. Because it's a great place to visit. But, I mean, if you worked in, like, research departments or something non-public. But the public interface part of the museum, no, you don't want to do that. It's no.
No. I have...
Beautiful museum, though.
The sad part is, I never want to go back because of the experience that I had with the screaming children. And every time I would speed through an exhibit and completely go to a different floor, and they always were right behind me. And I really enjoy museums. And you would also think that at some point, when you are in a public place, that the parents might consider asking even their children to stop screaming. Nope. No such law.
Now, are you talking about the Museum of Natural History in New York or a different one?
Yes, I am.
You are? Okay. Because I'm thinking back to when I was working there. There's a lot of unruly. I mean, employees aren't allowed to intervene in any sort of child acting up situations.
Did I tell you I was kind of house and dog sitting for a friend?
Mm-hmm.
And I've mentioned all the free music that they have around town during the summer.
Have. Yeah.
And it's Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday that I'm aware of. And the house I was going back and forth, and I didn't have to do it. It was split with another friend. So it was Friday night. And the house where I was is close enough to the park where the music is on Fridays. So the little doggy and I sat outside so he could run around and stretch his legs and listen to music part of the time. It was really nice.
Nice.
Yeah, we didn't have to walk to the spot where they had the music. Look at me not saying anything, but saying something without saying anything.
Not to be redundant.
Ah, not at all. Not at all. And my new fan is fantastic. It's a tower fan that you can put on settings so that it's not just on and off, right? It'll go on a timer, so it'll run for 5-10 minutes and then turn off. Low, medium, high, as they all do. But then it can do a nature. So it's not a consistent air blowing at you. And I know the words ebb and flow are for water, so I don't know what you would want to say. You know how a breeze isn't consistent? It kind of goes and slows down. It does that.
Good question. It could be an ebb and flow of a breeze. I don't know.
Yeah. Help us out here, someone. Super fun. Yes, I said the word super.